What is up, everybody? This is Anthony with VR 365. Welcome to another episode. It is Wednesday. It's November 21st. We are one day ahead of the Thanksgiving holiday, which is obviously a very big deal here in the USA. Thanksgiving is one of the biggest holidays of the year. We've got so many people that are traveling across the country, trying to get back home to visit friends and family, all of that sort of thing. That's kind of the Wednesday before Thanksgiving is always kind of hectic and crazy. And in the VR world, oh my God, do we have deals that are going on everywhere. We've got deals on wheels. I mean, it is crazy. Just a lot of different sales. There's a lot of games that are available right now on Steam, brand new releases. Do you guys remember I was talking about Protocol yesterday? I think I maybe I had a trailer for Protocol yesterday. And Protocol is now available. It is actually available right here and now. It's already out. Lots of stuff is going on like that. In fact, why don't we go ahead and bounce over to our web browser setup real quick here and check out some of the stuff that is going on. This is probably one of the biggest pieces of news, though, right here. As you can see, the Samsung Odyssey Plus. The new Samsung Odyssey is $299 on Amazon. So this was a deal. This wasn't on Amazon prior to today, as far as I could tell. But now the Odyssey Plus is available on Amazon. And a lot of people feel very comfortable about ordering products on Amazon. Some of us already have like Amazon gift cards, or we get free shipment of items from Amazon, different things like that. Delivery is pretty good with Amazon. And then if you have problems, you can, of course, send your stuff back and deal with it that way. So it is available on Amazon. So anybody out there trying to get their hands on the mixed reality Samsung Odyssey Plus, it is out there. But let's see, I wanted to, here's Protocol. It is available. It actually launched, I guess, yesterday. So maybe not too long after I did my show. I guess this game launched and it is available. Now, the reviews are mixed. There's only 16 reviews right now. The price is a bit on the high side. They're coming in at $25 for the price for Protocol, although you can see here it is launching with a 15% discount at $21.24. So they weren't lying when they said Protocol is right around the corner. It really was right around the corner. In fact, actually came out yesterday. So that is currently available. Again, the reactions do appear to be a bit mixed. So let's go ahead and go back over here to our regular scene here. And I've got a lot of different little news stories and things to get into today. Let's see, what are some of the topics we want to get into? Well, certainly one of the biggest stories that we have out there without question is the Oculus Go has been discounted. You can get an Oculus Go for $179.99. Yeah, that is actually, if we go over here to Upload VR, you can see this is one of the biggest news stories right now on Upload VR. Oculus Go is $179 for Black Friday. The Rift is also down to $349. Although I believe there was I don't know if it was a B&H Photo or somebody was selling the Rift for $340, even a little bit more of a dip off of that. But obviously the Oculus Go for $180. The nice thing about that is you could pretty much order an Oculus Go, and even if you have tax and stuff, you might be able to squeeze that puppy out of there for just under $200. You could probably drive to your local Best Buy, grab yourself an Oculus Go at a very nice mass market price. So Oculus Go at $180. Now it says for Black Friday, so I don't know, maybe that hasn't started yet. And there are so many things that are going on, so many different deals that are going on. So there are a lot of stipulations. There's a lot of little extra clauses that you have to think about in regards to getting some of this stuff. So go ahead and be aware of that. Okay, let me go ahead and grab a different trailer real quick. Let's see, what trailer did I want to throw on the screen here? Okay, so the trailer that I am throwing on the screen right now, this is Gungrave VR, and the reason I have this on the trailer, this is coming to PlayStation VR by Iggy Mob. It is Gungrave VR, and this has been dated. We have a date for Gungrave. It is going to come out on December 11th for PlayStation VR. Now, one of the things that I heard about this is the price is going to be $29.99 for the standard version of Gungrave, and then there is a special edition that is going to offer some extra kind of stuff, I think for another $10. But standard price, $30. Not exactly cheap. I don't know how many of you guys out there are hyped to play Gungrave in VR. It looks kind of interesting, but I don't think I would jump on this for 30 bones. But that's my own personal take. But maybe you're a huge fan of the Gungrave series and you really would want to jump on this for 30 bucks. But it has been dated for November 11th. Okay, one of the things I did want to go to real quick is I have created what I call the tweet window. Yeah, a tweet window. Hopefully this will work. I'm going to click on this right here. Yeah, here it is. Okay, so this is my tweet window. Whenever I have a major tweet, I can go to this window. I can read off the tweet, and eventually I'll have my nice background and it'll look a little bit better. But the tweet that I'm reading right here, this is Dirk Van Welden, and what he says here is, we've been working super hard on delivering a kick-ass PlayStation VR version of Space Pirate Trainer, and guess what? It's coming next week. Get off your sofa on November 27th, 2018 to dance yourself into the Space Pirate Trainer Hall of Fame. Yeah, we had heard for the longest time that Space Pirate Trainer would be coming to PlayStation VR in the not too distant future, and it was kind of all quiet on the Western Front for a long time. We didn't know what was going on with Space Pirate Trainer, but you know, it's one of these classics. It's one of these early classics that we have in VR gaming. We have a handful of classic games that pretty much every VR gamer should probably check out. Stuff like Job Simulator, stuff like Vanishing Realms, you know, some absolute classics from back in the day. And Space Pirate Trainer is absolutely one of those classics, and the Steam version and the Oculus version of Space Pirate Trainer have just been continually dialed in. I mean, so much polish, so much spit shine. If you purchased Space Pirate Trainer way back in the early days of VR, back in April, May, June, July of 2016, a long time ago, and if you haven't tried Space Pirate Trainer in the longest time, fire it up again, because oh my goodness, have they polished the living crap out of this game. They really have. And so we've got to hope that the PlayStation VR version is going to come through with flying colors and work good. One of the things, of course, you do have to consider in regards to Space Pirate Trainer on PlayStation VR is the single camera and that cone of vision. So you probably want to back away a little bit, give your camera a little bit of space so that, you know, you're swinging your arm out this way or that way, it'll still be able to track you, because you do have that cone of vision that you got to consider with PlayStation VR. And you know what? Speaking of PlayStation VR, possibly one of the best deals of every deal that I've seen for Black Friday, if you're in the United States, if you're looking to grab a great PlayStation VR bundle, maybe head down to your local Kohl's. Yeah, Kohl's. Okay, Kohl's is normally a place where you'd have to be like a 50-year-old lady, and you go to Kohl's and you're buying like a new sweatshirt, or I mean, you know, some kind of new blouse or new top. That's really what you go to Kohl's for. But they've got a great Black Friday deal on PlayStation VR. Basically, the way the deal is, it's $200 for the Astrobot Moss bundle, which it's going to be $200 pretty much everywhere. But with Kohl's, if you buy this, you'll get $60 in Kohl's cash. Now, I don't really know exactly how all of that works. Maybe you got to send in some kind of form and you got to wait a number of months. And then what the hell are you going to buy at Kohl's after that? Well, I don't know. Maybe go get your grandma and take her to Kohl's and say, Grandma, I'm treating you on a $60 shopping spree or something like that. So that is a really good deal out there for Kohl's. I was pretty impressed by that. But man, there are so many deals that are going on in so many places. It is really kind of crazy here. Speaking of some other Black Friday deals that are also jumping off today, Fanatical. Okay, there's a website called Fanatical. They have a bundle that will net you Invisible Hours and Dead Secret, and I think a couple of other items as well, for $5. 5 bones. The Invisible Hours, which I truly believe is the best VR movie that we have out there right now. I mean, it's really the only VR movie that we have out there right now. And even though they're not necessarily advertising it as a VR movie, Tequila Works, the developer, Game Trust is the publisher there, and I really feel like it is the first VR movie, and you can get that for dirt cheap if you head over to Fanatical. And you also get Dead Secret, which is a pretty cool game as well, and there's some other stuff that's thrown in, so definitely go ahead and check that out. And you know, speaking of VR movies, yesterday we had this movie called The Limit. Michelle Rodriguez, Norman Reedus, is it Rick Rodriguez? I forget the director's name, but I know his last name is Rodriguez as well, is a director, and it's called The Limit. And I was thinking about picking this up. I was thinking about forking over my own $5 to go ahead and check this out. But someone in chat saved me the trouble and said it was pretty much absolutely awful. Not worth the $5. It's just a crappy 360 video with a lot of jump cuts that are really bad ideas in VR. You don't want to constantly be switching viewpoints and stuff like that. That's nausea city in VR, especially with a blurry 360 video. So the early returns on The Limit, not very good. Now, if you guys saw it and you have a different impression, go ahead and tell us in chat. Let us know about it. And speaking of chat, let me go ahead and bounce over here, see what's going on. Push the Button is in the building. He says, hi, Anthony, and everyone else that likes VR. Push the button. What is going on? Gary Haylock is here. Dicky Boy 23. He says, I don't like VR. He's talking to Push the Button. Do we have a hater in the building, or is he just kidding? I think he's kidding because he says, I love VR. Scion VR is here. Paul Smith is here as well. Paradise says, or no, Dicky Boy 23 says, hit the like button. Yeah, why not? Why not hit the like button? Why not subscribe? And why not send me $420 in Super Chat? Oh, we don't have Super Chat yet. We're going to have to wait a little bit for that. Yeah, did you guys hear that MRTV, our boy Sebastian, has somebody that keeps giving him $420 in Super Chat like 3 days in a row? What kind of message is this guy sending? 420, a very interesting amount that he keeps donating to MRTV. That is pretty awesome. Looking forward to the day when my Super Chat might be active, but that will be a little bit further into the future. But you know what? If you guys keep subscribing, and if we get new people subscribing, we can get up to 1,000 subs, and then maybe I can flip that switch, so to speak. Phil Yarn is checking in as well. And, you know, a lot of other people are checking in. Paul Bellino says, Space Pirate Trainer rocks. Glad it is coming to PSVR. Yeah, honestly, you know, Space Pirate Trainer is the poster child for what early access should be. That is what early access should be, is you bring a game out in early access and the developer continues to bang away on it, continues to spit shine it and polish it up. And that's exactly what we got with Space Pirate Trainer. I mean, these fools have polished this thing to hell and back. It is so dialed in, so butter smooth, and we have to hope that it works out on PSVR as well. Paul Bellino says, I'm not old, and I go to Kohl's all the time. Yeah, you know, I'm making, you know, it's what do we call it? Stereotyping, that sort of thing. I'm just kind of joking there. Sometimes I'm not too obvious with my jokes, and sometimes they fall flat. Paradise Decay says the limit is 180 and in 3D, Anthony, really crisp and clear on the Rift, and some interesting effects techniques used in the experience. I never felt sick. And Michelle Rodriguez looked amazing in VR. Okay, well, you know, that's interesting. So we have a completely different view, and we trust our boy Paradise for the most part, right? Paul Limit says the limit sucks balls. So we do have some conflicting opinions, and holy shit, stop the presses. The Talos Principle is available for $13.59. Stop the presses, folks. I love the Talos Principle VR. I think it's probably easily in the top 20 of the best VR games we have, period. I'm talking about every VR game under the sun. I believe the Talos Principle is top 20. You can grab that for $13.59, but we've got deals literally coming out of our ears. We really do. We really have deals that are crazy. In fact, speaking of deals, I got more deals to talk about. Green Man Gaming. If you've been waiting for Fallout 4 VR, if you've been waiting for Skyrim, they are half off. They are out there. And on the screen right now is Squishies for PlayStation VR. I think Squishies looks kind of cool. This game is out. This game is available on PSVR. Reviews are kind of mixed. Price is a little bit higher than maybe what some people like, but Squishies is available. Our favorite, Squishies, it's out there. Yeah, Dirt Rally is $5 on a Steam sale. I mean, they're Serious Sam 3, $10. Deals are out the yin yang. Main Fan says, I trust the sucks balls opinion. He's not necessarily trusting Paradise Decay, but you know what? I think, yeah, Paradise Decay, I don't know. I mean, you know, mixed opinions there. Maybe I will. Maybe Paradise Decay is going to cost me a 5 spot. You know, a 5 spot. Do I throw that 5 spot at that Fanatical bundle and grab myself Invisible Hours and Dead Secret? Or do I try the limit? It is a hard decision to make. Okay, so what else is going on in the news? Okay, let's see what else is going on. Well, you know, one thing I can throw on the screen here real quick. Let's go ahead and throw this trailer on. Now, this is Scraper. Or Scraper. Why do I always call it Scrapper? It's a very scrappy developer, Labradex Studios. No, it is Scraper. I almost did it again. It is Scraper. It's all about the skyscrapers. It's all about New Austin, these mega cities. And so Scraper, this is the PlayStation VR trailer. It doesn't hit PlayStation VR until December 18th. But Scraper is available right now on Steam. Do I have my thoughts on the game? No, I don't. I have reached out to Labradex Studios hoping to get possibly a review code and give you my thoughts on a future episode. I'll have to wait and see what happens with that. But let's go ahead and bounce back over here to our browser. And I think, yeah, here's Scraper. Let me go ahead and refresh this real quick just in case we got a price yet. Okay, so here's Scraper First Strike. It is going to be available today on the 21st. There are no user reviews right now, and we don't have a price either, so I'm not really sure what Scraper is coming in at. I'd have to imagine this is probably coming in around $29.99, so maybe not necessarily dirt cheap for a lot of us out there. I mean, I don't know. Who knows? This could come in for $20, $25, $30. Hell, it could come in at $39.99. We just don't know, so we're waiting for the price on that. That is Scraper First Strike. I'm curious if any of you out there in chat, are you going to be grabbing Scraper? Are you maybe going to grab Protocol? Lots of stuff is coming out and hitting the scenes. And another game that is coming out today, and this one I can give you my thoughts on it. Let me go ahead and throw the trailer on real quick. Just a sec here. So Experiment Gone Rogue. Experiment Gone Rogue is available today. Let me turn the volume down just a little bit. Are you guys hearing any of the volumes on these trailers at all? I had them a little bit louder than normal. I don't know if any of the volume is coming through, but I'm going to go ahead and turn this one down a little bit. So, Experiment Gone Rogue, it is available today, and VR Roundtable received a preview code for this game, so I was able to check this out. I jumped in there yesterday and checked out Experiment Gone Rogue, and I do have some thoughts on it. And what I did was I kind of wrote down some positives and some negatives. Now, actually, wait, before I get into that, though, let me go ahead and let's see if we can check out the Steam page for this. Experiment Gone Rogue. Do I have the Steam page up here? No, I don't, so I'll type it in real quick. Experiment Gone Rogue. Okay, so $16.99. So I guess that is some of the good news here. Whoops, I got to fake this little date. Yeah, I was born on January 1st, 1984, we'll say. Okay, there we go. View page. Yeah, here's Experiment Gone Rogue. It is available today on November 21st. There are no user reviews. The developer is Repulse. And the price is $17, straight up. No discount or anything, just a straight up $17. So the good news is they're coming in low. That is definitely part of the good news. That is one of the positives about Experiment Gone Rogue. So basically, I've got so no sound on the trailer. So I guess my volume is really, really low, which is fine. That's okay. I'll go ahead and leave it like that for now. Experiment Gone Rogue, positives and negatives. One of the biggest positives of this game is that the developers Repulse, you can definitely tell that they were very ambitious with this. Basically, what they decided to do here is they wanted to try to make kind of an epic sci-fi adventure kind of a game. And that's really what they went for here. It's got this epic sci-fi kind of a flavor to it, and they're really trying to do a lot of different stuff in here. Another good thing about the game is the climbing mechanics work pretty damn well. So if you need to climb a ladder, or if you're going across some kind of chasm and you have to reach and grab these bars, and you just use your grip button, actually, you just use the grip button, you grab onto stuff, works extremely well, which, I mean, it should work well, but I've been in other games where it worked like crap. So the climbing mechanic does work good. That is great. The other thing I'll say about it is the first boss battle that I got to was pretty damn impressive. It was pretty impressive. A very large creature comes at you. You have to dodge it, back away, move around, and try to fight it. And it's a pretty impressive boss battle. So those are pretty much the positives, and also the price, $16.99. Now we're going to go to the negative side of the coin, and the negative side of the coin is, number one, the movement just is weird to me with this game. I don't feel like the movement is very good. There's teleporting and free locomotion. So at the beginning of the game, you choose, do you want to walk or do you want to teleport? And so if you select walk, that is basically the free locomotion. You just move your thumbstick in whatever direction, that sort of thing. However, when I first got in this and I was trying to move around, I felt like I was moving through molasses, like my guy was moving incredibly slow. And the other thing was, every time I hit the thumbstick, there were these blinders, kind of like these black blinders would come on the perimeter of your vision. It's an anti-motion sickness measure that a lot of developers will take. And so one of the first things you want to do if you jump into Experiment Gone Rogue, go into the options right away. Increase your walking speed. I increased it to 1.5. Turn off those annoying blinders, and then it does get a little bit better. But even after that, I still feel like the locomotion is just kind of janky. Like, I will push the thumbstick to go forward, and before I ever go forward, I go back slightly, then I go forward. I don't know what's up with that. Then the other thing is to run, and you're really going to want to run because you move slow. Even at 1.5, you move too slow. You click in the thumbstick to run, and I don't know about you guys, but a lot of these, like I'm playing on Oculus Rift and on the Oculus Touch, and clicking in that thumbstick on the Oculus Touch, trying to run and holding it down and trying to run, it's annoying. And I also feel like I'm going to break my thumbstick. Like, I feel like I'm putting way too much pressure on my thumbstick. And so I felt like the movement was really kind of whacked. The enemies, I didn't get to this part where there's these ladies dancing around in like underwear. Did not get to that part yet. Oh, there's the climbing. It's showing a little bit of the climbing. The climbing does work well. The enemies are pretty freaking brain dead. That's another big downer for this game. They pretty much just run straight at you. Like, they don't have much of a sense at all, and you just shoot them. You have your guns, and ultimately, this game is not that good. Not that good at all. In fact, basically the way I would talk about, and I feel bad because anytime I do get a review key, you know, I'm grateful for these developers that, you know, they've spent years of their lives banging away on this game. And I'm sure there's some good aspects of this game. It is not all horrible. There's actually some voice work, some voiceover. There's a couple minor things here and there that you'll see occasionally and you'll be like, wow, that was kind of good what they did right there. But this is a game that needed to have come out in April 2016, May, June, July. This needed to be a 2016 game. If you played this in June of 2016, you would be mildly entertained with this game, and you would probably halfway enjoy yourself with this game, and you'd probably think it's pretty darn cool. But it just doesn't cut the mustard in late 2018. There's just too many good games out there. And, you know, it's just the reality. And then also think of all the freaking deals that we're talking about right now. You can get Talos Principle VR, one of the 20 best VR games ever created, even though it's a port of a flat game. It's so damn good for less money than this. You can have a little bit left over and buy yourself a Happy Meal. So it just makes it so incredibly difficult. So developers nowadays, man, I feel for these guys. I really do. I don't like throwing shade on them and talking smack about their games because I know that they've probably just like blood, sweat, and tears, right, to get these things out the door and to actually release them and then offer up a key, and I'm grateful for that. But I gotta call them like I see them, and I would probably just have to say thumbs down on Experiment Gone Rogue. Maybe grab it for a 5 spot in some kind of future Steam sale or something like that. That's my thought process there. Okay, bouncing over to chat over here, and let's see. Paradise Decay says he's talking about strippers are after the first boss. Yeah, see, I got to the first boss. I didn't get to see the strippers. Really unfortunate, right? Paradise Decay says, I tried Experiment Gone Rogue a month ago. The devs wanted feedback, but still have not implemented any changes. Very linear, janky AI bots. I had fun, but it needs a lot more work. And I told them to make triggers an option for climbing. So I guess MainFan tried it as well. I had to hold grip to keep guns in my hands. Yeah, you know, one of the things I had with the guns is you can drop the guns. Because you know what, you're always going to be dropping the guns because you have to grab a ladder or you're picking something else up. You're going to drop the guns. You're going to grab these cheeseburgers and eat them to kind of rejuvenate your health. And one of the things I found is you can drop the guns over and over and over again, and the guns will just be there for you. So that was probably a good idea that they did that because it is so easy to drop the guns. So I don't know, maybe that was one of the changes that they made. T-Dub says Talos Principle VR is daft price for £10. It was £15 on sale on Steam at the end of October. So yeah, that is Experiment Gone Rogue. I am not totally, yeah, you know, I would probably pass on this one personally. It's decent. It's not absolutely horrible. And if you're one of these people that is just swimming in VR games and you just like to try everything, I mean, it's not complete and utter trash. It's halfway decent, but just, I don't think so. I don't think so. Okay, so let's see. What else can we get into here? Let me see if I had any other trailers that I wanted to get into. Blah 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 blah. Oh, you know, one thing I wanted to talk about is there's a trailer I want to show you guys, and this just goes to show you that there are so many VR games that do fly under the radar. I mean, here I am. I'm a guy that has been covering VR pretty intensely since 2016. I started this podcast called The Vivecast in like August or July of 2016. I was doing this podcast called The Vivecast, had like 10 episodes. Then me and Gary got together and started VR Roundtable later in 2016. Been doing VR Roundtable for a long time. Started the VR Game Rankings website in April of 2017. At the very end of April, was doing this website, VR Game Rankings, which still exists, and we've updated all of the top charts, and we've updated the most wanted charts recently as well. Did the website as well, then started the VR Game Rankings YouTube channel. This was late in 2017. I've been doing these shows every single day. I mean, totally immersed in VR. I go to the websites, I go to the subreddits, but there's still games that slip through the cracks that somehow I never heard of these games, and a damn good one. Well, it looks pretty damn good. And so I'm going to go to this trailer right now. Now, this game is called The Rig. It is being developed by Sunset Division, which is a very small developer in San Francisco, in the San Francisco Bay Area. I believe it's only 4 guys that are working on this, and they're working on it part-time. Now, this isn't coming until spring 2019, but I think it looks pretty darn cool. So let's go ahead and check this trailer out.
I'm not here because of us, Will, or anything we had. This is a job I'm giving you.
The AMR Zakhanov, Mr. Pike, is a final dive stop on the piracy lanes out to Alpha Hydrae.
I found this map on Dixon's work terminal. It's a good bet that's where he went. Right, Will?
We have a situation, and I can't say much, but actually, it's pretty bad.
A staggering vertigo of deep, empty space. A hell of a place to build your life. Or end it.
Alrighty, so yeah, that is The Rig, and you can see there that it was coming in 2018, but no, this game is actually coming in spring of 2019. Like I said, it is a very small developer, Sunset Division. They are based in San Francisco, California, not too far actually from where I'm at, and this game's coming spring 2019. They're working on it in their spare time, and there's not a lot of information on this game, but you know what? You know the show Projections by Tested? They had an episode where they visited this developer and they were talking to this developer, and that's another good thing to check out. There's probably like a 15-20 minute little sequence where they're talking to this developer and exploring how they're making this. It's incredibly colorful. There's dialogue choices. You're kind of in this spaceship. There's a story that's going on. It is called The Rig. And we can go ahead and go over here, and let me go ahead and grab the Steam page for The Rig. Yeah, this is the Steam page right here, The Rig. The Rig is an immersive, story-driven space noir adventure developed exclusively for VR. Explore a fully interactive light freighter as you attempt to land, find your brother, and uncover a tightly woven mystery of murder and broken romance. That is coming in the spring of 2019. And I like the visuals, very colorful, but kind of basic, but colorful, bright, quite beautiful. And this game is like, I don't know, somehow I never heard of this game. And yesterday what I was doing is I was updating the most wanted charts over at vrgamerankings.com, and I happened to see this Steam page for The Rig, and I was like, oh, this looks like kind of a decent logo, The Rig, and you know, I was like, what is this game called, The Rig? And then, you know, I checked out the trailer and all of that, and it's pretty freaking dope. So that is The Rig. Can't seem to find the Steam page again, but we can go ahead and check out. Why don't we go ahead and bounce over to Road to VR? Let's see what they're talking about over here, since we happen to be in the web browser. They're talking about Precision OS has secured $2.3 million of Series A funding to further VR orthopedic surgical software. Yes, VR is going to be used for a lot more than just games and entertainment. Honestly, it could really be a major thing for the medical industry in the future, VR and AR is going to be a really big deal over there. And then, of course, they have a story here about some of the best Oculus Rift deals that are out there, holiday deals, discounts for the Go and Rift. And Astrobot originally was going to have some local co-op multiplayer, but it was cut because they wanted the single-player version to really stand out there. And, of course, they're also talking about the limit for Scraper First Strike. It is available today, November 21st. It is coming on December 18th to PlayStation VR. Okay, so let's bounce back over here to our standard scene here. And yeah, the rig, I think the rig should be on your guys' radar as a game that is coming later in 2019. I think it looks really cool, very interesting, especially if you watch projections, that episode. Somehow I missed that episode because then I would have known about this game. But that was a long time ago. This game has been in development for a while, but the team has regular, normal day jobs. This is not their day job, so they're working on this when they can. So it's kind of one of those kinds of situations. Okay, let's see. Were there some other topics I needed to get into? Let's see here. Oh, Affected the Manor is coming to the PlayStation VR on November 27th. In fact, November 27th is going to be a banger of a day for PlayStation VR because you've got Space Pirate Trainer available on November 27th. You got Affected the Manor available on November 27th, but you've also got In Death available on PlayStation VR on November 27th. So quite a few games are hitting PlayStation VR at that point in time. Okay, let me bounce back over to chat. Let's see what some people are talking about here. Fluke says Crow Team Bundle, Serious Sam 1 through 3, Last Hope, and Talos Principle, 21.5 pounds for the entire lot. That is a great bundle. That is a great deal. I mean, all the Serious Sam games are really damn good. I mean, Talos Principle all by itself is practically worth that. And then you get all the Serious Sam games as well. Let's see. Rec Room would be a Quest seller for show. That is Phil Yarn. Yeah, they're talking about some of the Quest games that are going to be major sellers. Phil Yarn says he's going to grab Serious Sam 3 for $10. You know, I got Serious Sam 3 very recently when it was on sale. I think we, via Roundtable, we bought kind of like a bundle, and we've all been kind of jumping in there with like Family Share, checking it out. And Serious Sam 3, this is one of those games. It was always ranking in the top 20, top 30 on the HTC Vive rankings and the Oculus Rift rankings, and it was one of these games that I just never played. I never played the Serious Sam games, and I was really late to the party with that. Finally got in there, finally tried a Serious Sam game, and I was actually quite impressed with it. You know, not bad by any stretch of the imagination. Speaking of Talos Principle, here's a little Talos Principle on the screen here. Let's see. John Bardo says he got Shooty Fruity, pretty fun and chaotic. And that's kind of what's going on over there in chat. So what we could do now is we could possibly check some of the subreddits and see what people are talking about over there as well. So why don't we go ahead and do that? I'm going to go ahead and switch over to our web browser setup here, and let's go ahead and bounce over to some of these subreddits and see what's going on. Let's go ahead and check the Vive subreddit first and foremost. And I did notice this topic. I don't know if any of you guys have saw this, but there are rumors that Valve's new headset will feature GVS. And I was like, what the hell is GVS? So let's go ahead and click on it and see what they're talking about. So GVS is galvanic vestibular stimulation. And so the idea is that it basically sends them some kind of like a signal into their ear or whatever that will help with motion sickness. So that is what GVS is, because if you go back to that Valve HMD leak, they did have these big, large, weird-looking headphone things that were on the side of every single headset. And that's what somebody was speculating, is they're not just headphones. They're also going to provide this galvanic vestibular stimulation to help with motion sickness. So, but that, of course, that's nothing more than a rumor right now. So we got to understand that. Beat Saber, you know, speaking of Beat Saber, we could bounce over there to the PSVR subreddit it is all Beat Saber all the time. It is crazy what's going on over there. And everybody seems to really be loving it and really getting into it. It's very rare that somebody pops in there and says they're not a fan of Beat Saber on PlayStation VR. In fact, I know Jim Hall picked up Beat Saber, my producer. He picked that up on PlayStation VR. Curious if he's gotten into it. What are his thoughts so far on Beat Saber? The Fanatical bundle includes Dead Secret, The Invisible Hours, and Rise of Insanity for a 5-spot. That is a great, great deal. Green Man Gaming, we talked about this. Skyrim VR and Fallout 4 VR are half off. So just some really good deals that are going on out there. And MRTV, like I said, he's got a really good Samsung Odyssey Plus breakdown. He feels like it's the best current gen mass market headset that's out there right now at this moment in time. And that's pretty much what they're talking about over there. Why don't we check out the Oculus subreddit really quick? Beat Saber DLC. The developer is planning 30 new songs eventually coming to Beat Saber. Oculus Go for $180 for Black Friday, and the Rift is down to $350. And of course, they're talking about The Limit, that movie yesterday. We're hearing kind of conflicting opinions on that. And that's pretty. Experiment Gone Rogue is out now. I had issues over a month ago. That is Paradise Decay. Yeah, I don't know. I think this is one that will be passed on by most of us probably. Pretty good price. I mean, $16.99, right? Not a bad price there, but just a couple of years late. It's a hard game out there right now. If you're an indie dev, it really is a hard game because, you know, I know what happened with a lot of these indie devs. Back in 2016, they tried a lot of these different early VR games out, and they thought, you know what, we can make a game as good as this. You know, this isn't that freaking incredible. You know, they played stuff like Dimensional and Astral Domine and, you know, all these different like early VR games. And they thought, you know, we can do this. We can make a game like this. The problem is 2 years later, now their game is finished, but it is a completely different marketplace 2 years later. And that's really where the problem is. It's just by the time they finish the game, the marketplace is like moved on, and no one's playing those games that are not super solid. So here's the PSVR subreddit. Like I said, it's pretty much the Beat Saber subreddit. Everybody talking about Beat Saber all the time. Let's see if there's anything other than Beat Saber going on in here. Everybody playing Beat Saber, Beat Saber. They are talking about the Kohl's deal. This is where I saw it. I think this is pretty incredible. This guy says the best deal I've seen so far. Astrobot and Moss for $200, and then you get the $60 in Kohl's cash. I've heard other people mention buying stuff and getting Kohl's cash. I don't know how that works. I'm going to assume that the Kohl's cash that you get, you probably have to mail in for it or something. It's probably some kind of rebate, and you probably can't use it right away. And then maybe there's limitations on what you can use it for. Like maybe you can't buy like a gift card with it or something like that. I don't know what the little stipulations are, but I'm sure there are quite a few. Space Pirate Trainer, we know this is coming on next week, November 27th. We saw that, of course, in our brand new tweet window that I've created. And Space Pirate Trainer, yep, coming next week. Gungrave is coming on December 11th. So that's pretty much everything. Let's go ahead and just head back to chat and see what folks are talking about in chat. Let's see here. John Bardo says, I'm on an iPhone. Maybe why it's not working. Okay, what is he talking about here? Something's not working. Doesn't work on mobile YouTube app, although I thought it got updated recently. Not sure what they're talking about as far as that. Actually, I should be looking over here with my chat. Get my eyes in the right situation here. I Am Rut says, Anthony, did you pick up your Beat Saber for PlayStation VR for your Thanksgiving fantasy? No, I didn't. I got to admit, I'm not going to drop $30 just to show my family Beat Saber. What I am going to do is I am going to bring my Oculus Go. That is the perfect thing with the Oculus Go. I will be bringing my Oculus Go to Thanksgiving, and I'll be putting people into stuff like Eclipse, Edge of Light, maybe showing them like Henry and maybe showing them some Amaze 3D and just some different samples on my Oculus Go. So that is one thing I will be doing on Thanksgiving. But no, I'm actually, if there was a Beat Saber demo, this is why I was saying I think it would have been a really good idea if we had a Beat Saber demo, because even if it was just like a 2-minute clip, you know, of a song in Beat Saber, that would be a great thing. But as far as I know, there is no Beat Saber demo. And Andy Sky says, now I got an Odyssey Plus. I need more new games with no SDE, no screen door effect. And Simon Jones is just checking in. Did I miss any rants on Magic Leap Love-In? Or, oh, did I miss any rants or Magic Leap Love-In? No, you didn't really miss any rants. I had a minor rant about how good Talos Principle is, and it is on sale for an incredibly good price, but that was pretty much it. Alrighty, guys. Well, you know what? There's just not much else going on. That pretty much covers it for today. So no need to just drag this show on for a long time for the hell of it. So let me go ahead and grab my little outro here. I gotta get going anyway. Like I said, today is the day prior to Thanksgiving. I gotta drive all the way out to where my mom lives, pick my mom up. She's gonna be staying with us for several days over the Thanksgiving Day holiday. And one of the things I did mention a couple days ago is it is going to be a little bit hectic with everything that is going on, because, you know, tomorrow will be Thanksgiving. I'm still planning on doing a show at 11 a.m. Pacific time tomorrow. And then on Black Friday, I plan on doing a show at 11 a.m. Pacific time on Black Friday as well. But plans can sometimes change, so if you subscribe to the show, if you get the notifications, you'll be up to date with everything, and you'll know when the shows are at, or if time changes with the shows. You can also follow me on Twitter at VR Game Rankings on Twitter, and usually if there's going to be a big change in the time of a show, or if a show is canceled or something like that, I will typically tweet that information out ahead of time. So that's pretty much going to do it. This has been episode 17 of VR 365 Live. Once again, like the show, subscribe to the show, tell a buddy about the show. All of those things help us in a major, major way. And I will be back tomorrow on Thanksgiving Day at 11 a.m. Pacific time, and I will see you guys then. Let me make sure I can get out of here without leaving my camera running for several hours. So that's going to go ahead and do it. All right, we'll see you guys tomorrow. Take it easy. Later.